This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
We finally made it to Friday, and it has been a very, very busy week. If a week could feel like 10 days instead of just 7, that would be what this week kind of felt like, in the best way possible. Good morning, everybody. Welcome into all of our streaming partners on Circle Country. We're inside our Simply Superior studio at the A-Cup House, across from where the chaos had happened. Controlled. What is it? The good-natured riot is what we had on Wednesday night, celebrating 100 years of the Grand Ole Opry. And I got to say, we did it well. Very, very well. And that's from outsiders, not just us. Just the comments on Facebook and Instagram, TikTok. People that know me have just personally texted, man, that was an incredible show. One of the best comments was, this sets the bar for all live music shows going forward.
Oh, I love that.
How was that, right?
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty special.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I personally am a bar kind of set it low kind of guy, but you know,
that way you can
that
jump
I can
over
usually exceed expectations. But okay,
Good morning,
I do take the compliment.
We're happy to have you along for the ride this morning. Annie Nye is here. We've got Joel Wilson upstairs pushing all the buttons to help us stream to all of our people. Peacock, Roku, wherever you're watching us this morning. Charlie Matos, I'm Kelly Sutton. Bill Cody yesterday was a part of Luke Combs getting his star on the Walk of Fame. So that went over very, very well. Congratulations to Mr. Luke.
Yep.
I didn't go see the star, but I was in the vicinity because I was at the Schermerhorn Symphony Center and they still had all the stuff set up.
Oh yeah, literally, it's like their backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looked pretty cool where, I was standing and I had a friend that went and said, very well done. So well done to everybody. Cool. Coming up, entertainment headlines. We are going to be talking about the Schermerhorn Symphony Center. That's where Dolly was yesterday. What a week. I think we need to spread the wealth. Like we had Reba, we had
Too
Dirks,
much, right?
We had too many stars all in one. What was this Saturday Night Live skit where it was like, no, stop calling. Too many calls when they were selling stuff. Stop calling. Too many stars. So, yeah, we had Dolly last night. I'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit, and where you can see all of her songs done with symphonies in specific cities. So that's
From WSM Radio, this is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome in. It's Coffee Country and Cody. We are on WSM live inside our Simply Superior studio at the A-Cup House. Charlie's putting his water bottle away.
I have lots of stuff. I have yogurt cups, water.
Charlie Matos with all of his accoutrements. I'm Kelly Sutton. That's Annie Nye. Joel Wilson is upstairs.
You have as many whatever you just said as I do. You just hide it better than I do. I put all my stuff up on the table.
You can't say accoutrement.
I got my spoon. I got my nice. I do love our new Puckett's Diner mugs.
Are they
by the way,
nice?
they're coming in next Friday on our Assembly Food Hall stage and sharing some.
great?
I don't know, but it's gonna be good. I had gumbo for 3 straight days last time they were here.
Okay, question: were they the ones that did some of the stuff that was here Wednesday night? Because there was shrimp and grits here.
No, that was a place called Flavor.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was mistaken. I didn't get a chance to eat that, but
Someone
good.
did.
Yeah.
Did we track down who ate all the shrimp and grits? By the way,
Joel, did you take the shrimp and grits home?
Joel did.
I was blaming
all right.
everyone.
But that's fine though,
I was blaming
because he
everybody.
actually worked.
Yes.
It's okay if you work and eat it.
Yeah, I agree.
He also has children to feed, so that's
a
also
valid
very
point.
helpful.
I was thinking about those shrimp and grits the whole show. I was like, Charlie, we're going to go back. We're going to eat the shrimp and grits. It's going to be so delicious. And we opened the fridge, and there's 4 mini tacos.
That was it.
That's it.
I know. Nothing worse than thinking that you have food at
Right.
work.
Oh my God.
And
Right.
you go to get it.
Or at
Right.
home.
Or at home.
Right.
After a long night out. Like, even if I went home from the show and there was nothing in that fridge, I would have been equally as devastated.
And
Yeah, it's a hard road.
and if you're watching or listening and you're thinking mini tacos, you're probably thinking, no, these are like the size of like a Lego.
Little
Like
bit.
the
Yeah.
Lego man would. This would be like a toy taco
Gosh,
for the
they were
Legos. That's how
tasty. No,
they
yeah.
were, but they were.
very tasty.
They were
I'm
microscopic.
not even to call them a
tacos.
bite would be an exaggeration.
Well, I mean, they were like heavy hors d'oeuvres. People were passing them around. That's another word you should say.
Hors d'oeuvres?
Yeah, there you go.
Heavy hors d'oeuvres? Okay.
Spell it.
Could we spell it?
There's an H in there.
It's at the beginning.
H-O-R-S.
No,
I
no.
think it's H-O-U-R.
No, I thought it's H-O-E-R.
I think it's
No.
H-O-U-R-Z.
No, there's no
There's
Z.
there's an apostrophe in there too.
H-O-R-S.
Hors
D.
d'oeuvres.
It
No,
looks
but there's
like-
an apostrophe.
I was
Say
right.
hors d'oeuvres.
HORS apostrophe D apostrophe OEUVRES.
No Z.
No Z.
Okay.
Why do I hors d'oeuvres? Hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres. It looks like hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres is a great way to remember it.
Those are the
That's
best.
just as easy to spell. Or so much easier to spell.
Okay, and moving to Nashville, there are several street names that are just
Yes.
different.
Demon Bruin.
Very first one. I was here
Everybody.
for approximately 12 hours and they put me on the news. I actually came to start a morning show with Ralph Emery, but when I came in, I think I came like a couple weeks before so we could do rehearsals, whatever. And the female news anchor was gone. And so they just said, hey, will you fill in? You do news. And I was like, sure, whatever. So they put me on the news desk with Ashley Webster. If anyone is in Nashville and remembers that name, it was very odd because he was our local news anchor, but he was from the UK and he had a British accent.
Yep.
So you have a Middle Tennessee news anchor with
And
a
he's a
British
man.
accent.
Wow.
Yes.
With the name Ashley.
Yes. So Ashley Webster was sitting beside me, and
an
I'm
oxymoron.
Yeah, he really was. He was great. But I was in the middle of reading it, and immediately it came across, and I said it was on Demon Bruin, and you could feel
The tension in the room.
collective gasp.
Oh,
And
yes.
I looked at him and I said, I didn't say that right, did I? And he said, no. And I said, well, you could tell who's new here. So, yes, it's Demumbrian. I actually had this whole conversation with Reese the other day. I was like, you were born here? Nashville's your home? There are certain things you are expected to pronounce.
Right.
Demon Bruin is not one of them. It is Demumbrian. Laverne, not Lavernghini. Lebanon.
Oh, wait a minute. No. What?
Laverne.
I would never not pronounce that Laverne. How? I've never
Well,
heard of
we've
that.
had-
other pro-
we
Yeah,
know
because we're
somebody.
from the Northeast. We know we know that
okay.
word.
Yeah.
Joel
For
and
some
I,
reason.
Joel
Yeah.
knows. Look,
Yeah.
he's laughing right now. He knows that was
Well-
on air. That was somebody that we worked with called it Lavernghini.
like Lamborghini, like the car.
Lavernghini, because that's how it is
Because it's
written.
L-A-V.
Yeah, I would only do
Vergene.
Laverne.
Yes,
Wow.
Lavernghini.
Okay.
So, we've
Well,
had
that's bad.
have
That's
a
tough.
list. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Lebanon's weird. My mom still
Lebanon.
says Lebanon.
Lebanon.
Yeah, as does the rest of the world. The
Right.
rest of the world
Most of
also says Lafayette.
Instead of Lafayette.
But anyway,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, that one's
Well, now that
silly
we've worked
too.
through that, there's
Yeah.
only one way to say Dolly. Dolly. And we all know who we're talking about. She was at the Symphony Center last night. This was so cool. So imagine all of your favorite Dolly songs, but with a symphony backing them up and having people come out and sing 5 or 6 different vocalists. And then you've got the visuals that go along with it. Well, that's exactly what is happening with Threads, My Song in Symphony. It was a one-night only event here in Nashville, but it is hitting the road and we'll be going to different cities. Dolly showed up last night. Here's what she had to say.
Hearing my songs, anytime that anybody ever recorded a song and we had strings and everything on them, I just always thought it was great, and I love the symphony. So just to have my songs, which is called Threads, my songs in symphony, and I've never been able to say that word either. Very well. I have sympathy for the symphony. Anyway, so I'm just looking so forward to it. I just thought it'd be wonderful to hear some of the songs that I've written through the years done up in such fine fashion.
There you go. She looked amazing. Amazing. I mean, Dolly always looks great, but last night, just the dress, the hair, all of it on point. So again, it is Threads, My Song in Symphony, and it's going to Fort Wayne, Cleveland later. You can see the whole list. Just find it online and don't miss out on that. I'm sad that I didn't get to stay and listen to that incredible experience because I can't imagine, like, I Will Always Love You with a full symphony and the strings and how beautiful it is. Okay, so Lainey Wilson, we know she's engaged. We also know she's not going to wear bell bottoms down the aisle. And honestly, thinking about it, I've never seen her in a dress. I mean, bell bottoms are obviously her signature. She's never worn a dress, even to like CMAs or ACMs. It's always been a pair of bell bottoms that kind of look like a dress. So she mentioned, hey, you know what? When the wedding comes, I will be wearing a dress. She said, Duck, which is her fiance, has never seen me in a dress. So I figure that is the day that he will get to see me in one. So Be looking for a white dress. She hasn't been shopping. They don't have a date yet. She said they got plenty of time. So don't worry about that. All right. Warren Zeiders, he's having a hard time dating. And maybe it's because of the song titles that he's choosing. I don't know. I think it's kind of a vicious circle. He hasn't had like a great time dating, and then he writes songs about how he hasn't had a great time dating, and then he puts it out into the world. And so ladies are like, oh no. Look at what you're writing about with all of your songs. So we talked to him with our podcast. Here's what he had to say about some of the songs that he's written on his new album.
What's funny is we actually wrote my song Without You and Lies, which are both on the record, in the same day. Without You is saying about finding someone that you love so much, I can't imagine living without you, to talk about another situation where I'm sick of your lies. So that just shows you my dating world of what I'm going through.
On? Are you okay?
I'm good.
He says he's good. But he's writing a whole lot of songs about relapse, lies, and betrayal. So that's the name of the new album. If you want to hear the entire podcast, you can just search it out. Look for Country Heat Weekly wherever you listen to podcasts. He does have fantastic hair. And I did go into his hair care routine. I wanted to know because he has some, really great hair. I said, do you wash it a lot? And he's like, maybe once a week. And I was like, oh, me too. So we kind of compared hair care routine. Yeah. Want to make sure you have
questions I don't have to delve into very often.
You never really go into that, do you?
When you have very little, it doesn't really matter at that point, right?
You did want to know about
stick my head under the faucet. That's
Want
it.
some hats.
Under the faucet?
Yeah,
Like in the sink?
Yeah, I could do that. I don't, but I mean, I could. I mean, that's why I wear a hat. There's nothing up there for the most part.
But you don't wash your hair
No,
in
I
the
don't wash my
sink.
hair in the sink. No,
Do you
wash our dog in the sink, but we don't wash our...
You wash your dog in the sink?
We used to when it was Allie the pug. It was much more self-contained.
Because she was small.
Yeah. Well, Kate the Beagle's small too, but we actually put her in the... I mean, I never give her a bath. I'm against giving a dog a bath, but Renee wants to give the dog a bath.
What if they get muddy or something?
Well, yeah, but she doesn't roll in stuff. Renee just doesn't want the dog to smell like a dog. And that's what they smell like. They want to be that. They want to smell like a dog.
I don't know how I
My
feel.
dog would bite my face off if we put him in the tub. So we don't do that.
Spray it.
We have a mousse. He has a special mousse that's like a dry shampoo.
It's a high-maintenance dog.
He's a high-maintenance dog. There's a special mousse.
We have a mousse.
So we can put on him. Okay, one more video to show you.
All right.
Garth Brooks at Friends in Low Places. So Wednesday night, Opry 100, big shindig. Everything was amazing. Garth and Trisha, they're on stage together, perfection. And Garth later that night was like, let's keep this party rolling. He goes down to his own bar that he opened on Broadway, Friends in Low Places. He and Trisha hopped behind the bar. Take a look. So he's spraying people with champagne. He is singing along to his own song. I mean, you were right. Trisha has everything lined up and is like trying to make nice drinks for people.
Yeah, he's just throwing liquid everywhere.
Legitimately just pouring very heavy-handed drinks and passing them out. But I mean, how cool is it that you could say, I went to Friends in Low Places and sang Friends in Low Places with the guy who wrote Friends in Low Places?
Yeah, Garth's pouring doubles, if not triples, though. I do like that. I mean, I like him as my bartender.
Very heavy-handed.
And I'm sure they were on the house, so...
I would think that no one was taking a credit card out at that point. Nobody's like, I got this one. that one's on you, Garth. Absolutely. Okay, so we are wrapping up our entertainment headlines. Thank you very much to our friends who stopped by to see us, Tracy Bird and Alex Miller. What?
Nothing.
What's wrong?
My hand just ended up in your shot.
Why
Sorry
are
about
you
that.
sticking your hand in my shot?
I'm just telling you we have to say goodbye now.
Okay, we're saying goodbye now.
Yes.
Thank you very much for listening and being a part of the show. It's Coffee Country and Cody. Welcome back, everybody. It's Coffee Country and Cody inside our studio, the A Cup House, our Simply Superior studio, because we have Simply Superior guests who come in early in the morning, and then they come in and all we do is sit and talk about how much sleep we're not actually getting. Andrea Zonn is here with John Cowan, the Herculeons, and the album's out.
It's today.
It's today. Happy album
We're
release
celebrating
day.
with you.
That's
Thank
amazing.
you so much for having us.
Thanks for coming. Thank you for getting up early. We were talking about prioritizing sleep.
We were talking about that.
And then I realized, and we asked you to come in early.
Well, actually, when I don't know about Andrea, but when I'm not on tour, I keep regular hours.
I do too. And I have a teenager who leaves for school at 6:30 in the morning, so we are up.
You are ready. Yeah. Is yours driving now?
Yes.
Okay. That's a whole nother discussion.
Across town, thank you very much.
Oh,
on
my
the highway.
goodness. Okay. Yeah. Extra prayers for you
Thank you.
for
I
the car.
appreciate that, like from the bottom of my heart. Yes.
But once you get over the fear, it is a little freeing that you're not like the ultimate Uber driver every day, right?
Listen, I had a friend who said, listen, the first 6 months are the worst of your life, and the next 6 months are the best.
Yeah.
Because you realize how much time you recover. You know? It's amazing.
Mine's 15 and a half, has her permit.
Call me when you're ready. I will talk you through it.
Thank you, because we're practicing driving to school and driving home, but also doesn't care that much about driving, which is weird because growing up for me, a car was freedom. I couldn't wait to get my license.
One of my stepchildren waited. He was just like, he didn't get his license until he was over 18.
Wow.
Like in our day, it was like, you just was like, 21 more days. No, now there's 18 to let you know.
Right.
Counting it down.
Practicing. We were
Exactly. What was your
practicing
first car, John? Do you remember?
The first car I ever owned,
Yeah.
it was a 1973 lime green Chevrolet Vega.
Nice. Nice. Andrea, what
with
was
white
yours?
stripes on it.
Oh, racing stripes made it go faster.
It was the family car, which was a 72 Volkswagen convertible Bug. It was
man.
awesome.
Okay, if you still have that, that would be the coolest car on the road.
I wish. I remember when my dad finally sold it for like $500 because there was rust on the floorboards and we were afraid the whole floor was just going to land on the ground somewhere. I had actually called somebody. The battery actually fell out of the back of the car.
no.
And I had to call a mechanic and say, can you come with a 2x4 to prop this thing back up?
I need to get the
Did they-
battery back in.
Did they
He's
duct
like,
tape
"Excuse
it back
me?"
on?
He said, excuse me. And I was like, you'll see.
We're going to need some help here. That's amazing.
That's a new level of falling apart.
It's-
yeah.
Yeah. Became the Flintstones car. Just pedal with your feet,
Exactly.
right?
That's what we were waiting for.
I did have, I had a 5-speed. My dad made me get a manual.
Aren't you glad you know?
So glad, but he really did it because he said, I know none of your friends can drive that, so they're never going to ask to drive your car.
That's exactly
Exactly.
right. And no one will take it.
Yeah, but at one point the clutch was going out on it and it would pop out of fifth. And so I had the same thing. I had a little 2x4 that I put, and when it would get in fifth gear, I would prop it up and keep it in fifth gear as I'm driving down the interstate.
Oh my God.
Going 65 miles an hour. I know the stuff that we did.
so good.
I know. Well, congratulations on the new album.
You're
Thank
so
you.
very.
And we thought it would never happen.
I
We were
mean-
trying to figure out, was it 4 or 5 times that we've been here talking about this record coming?
I was saying, I feel
Yeah.
like we've been on the journey.
I feel like you've heard the whole thing now.
Yeah, little bits and pieces. So the Herculeans, for people that don't know, give us the story on the name.
The name is, when we started this project during the pandemic. We were just stir crazy, and we started doing Facebook Live shows with just Andrea and myself, and we had 3 hotshot bluegrass young guns, Matt Menifee on the banjo and Seth Taylor on the guitar, and Ashby Frank on the mandolin and vocals. And someone was asking me one day, well, who are these guys playing with you? And I said, oh God, their talents are just Herculean. And then I thought to myself later, well, I have this connection with Leon Russell because when I was a member of Newgrass Revival, we were his band in 1978, 79, and 80. And then Leon, who's passed away, I think 5 years ago now, in November, maybe 6, he and I continued our friendship all through the years. And I actually saw him, went out to eat with him the week that he passed. Like, he was frail, but when I got that call, I was shocked.
Really?
Anyway, so that's why we inserted the name Leon into the Herculean.
Oh, I
Tip
love
to the
that.
great Leon.
That's very cool.
Yeah. You know, my first memory of him would go all the way back to the concert for Bangladesh with George Harrison, and I just thought he was the coolest guy back then. I mean, I continued to be cool throughout the years as well, but
Wearing the top hat.
Yeah,
You know, our friend, I'm sure you can't see you can't see on the radio, but the album artwork was painted by our dear friend and collaborator, Tom Britt, and there's a little figure of of a piano player that looks like Leon from the back.
Yeah, got white hair.
Oh, that is so very cool.
And there's Andrea playing the fiddle, and somehow I'm on the car that looks like a bass.
Yeah, he's driving the car.
This is amazing. So we've got 11 songs on here.
We do.
And we're going to play one right now. We're doing Resurrection Road.
That's a good choice.
Perfect.
So give us a backstory on this song before we play it.
This song was written by my late dear friend Kenny Edwards. The general public might not know Kenny, but they would know his work because he was Linda Ronstadt's right-hand man for 40 years, played bass and sang in her band on all her recordings. But Kenny had a solo career as well, and I just love his songs, and we decided to record this one.
All right, everybody, we're going to play it for you. It's off the new album. Today it's out. It has that new album smell. It's John Cowan.
It has that
Andrea
new plastic
Zonn,
smell.
the Herculeans. This is Resurrection Road, and you're hearing it right now on WSM.
This is WSM's Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Coffee, Country, and Cody, and we are inside the A-Cuff house this morning talking to the Herculeans. Hello and good morning. Okay, so record release day. What does that look like? Do you have a lot of stuff planned? What's going on?
No,
starting
you
our
take
day.
it. I insist.
We're starting our day in the best possible way
Well, there
with
is
you
that.
guys.
I love that.
Who have
Thank
been
you.
on this journey with us, really, in a lot of ways. And then tonight we're having a little listening party celebration at 3rd and Lindsley in the back room.
It's free. There's going to be food and drinks that we're providing. So anyone in the listening area.
Really?
It's
to
like
join us.
70 people, but you know,
Okay.
everybody come on down.
Come on down. Well, that's a fun venue, though. I mean, being
It
in 3rd
is.
and Lindsley and having
It
that
is.
back room.
And we decided that was what we wanted to do, was just present it. And we've made a couple of videos, so we're going to show those. And we brought Wendy Waldman in, our producer from Los Angeles, so she's going to come in. We're going to talk about it and the making of the record. And
Oh, that's fun. So a little Q&A.
a little Q&A.
Yes.
Well, that's good because I will tell you the last thing that I went to that was a listening event, they did a little presentation on a stage and then they just opened it up and everybody was talking over the music and I couldn't hear it.
Oh.
And so
Yeah.
I was kind of in the corner, like doing one of these, like literally trying to listen. And then they were like, we're going to give it to you as you walk out. So don't worry. And I said,
Yeah.
oh, okay. But to know that there's a Q&A, that's really important because people can figure out more about the album before they leave.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and Wendy is such a gift, and it'll be so much fun to
She's
have her.
very eloquent.
She's eloquent, and yeah.
Something I'll never be accused of.
Well, Wendy, of course, first thing that comes to mind for me is Fishing in the Dark.
Right.
I mean, what a calling
yeah.
card early
I mean,
on,
an
right?
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing songwriter, and we're both fans of the work she did with Brindle, with Carla Bonoff and Kenny Edwards and Andrew Gold. I mean, those records are just ridiculously
And
great.
she wrote that huge, gigantic hit called "You Saved the Best for Last," Vanessa Williams.
Oh, right. Mhm.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's nice. Nice to hang your
you
hat
think?
on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some mailbox money coming from that one, probably. You've got a lot of things on the plate, including an Opry appearance coming up in April.
Our
This is so good.
Herculeans debut.
Is it?
It is.
On the Hallowed stage.
I mean, we've both been fortunate enough to be on the Opry several other times in other incarnations, but this will be the Herculeans debut.
Very cool.
Thrilled
and
about it.
are you already kind of thinking about what you want to play, what you want to do? Is it going to be more of a, we'll figure it out the week of?
I know.
Probably.
Okay.
I already know.
Yeah.
Ah.
You're-
Then John, that means you already know, okay?
you
why it
tell,
works.
like,
That's
you
why
tell
it
Charlie and Kelly and Annie, and then they'll tell me.
We'll get
I
it
knew
back
the
to you
first
at
thing
some
was booked,
point.
I was like, oh, I know what we'll do.
That's
So
awesome.
that's why it works. I haven't told John yet, but
It's your birthday?
no, I said that's why it works.
Oh, right.
Sorry for my laryngitis. by the way. I sound like a frog.
No, you're fine. Well, you guys have been flying a lot, and you've been
been
all over
flying
the
a lot.
place.
Yep.
And it's always wonderful to be in demand, but at the same time, you're like, oh,
That
okay.
prioritizing rest thing we were talking
Yeah,
about.
it's
yeah,
hard
it's
to
really
do.
important.
Very
Yep.
hard to do.
Well, and you're both still so active, Andrea, with James Taylor, who's got a big tour starting in
Yeah.
May.
That's right.
John, the Doobies, will be in the UK in July. And then
Yep.
from that part on, it's like,
See
yeah,
ya.
somebody go water my plants,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Exactly.
I always tell people, just remember, bus sleep isn't real sleep.
It's not sleep.
Okay, that's a great question because I have talked to people that say they actually sleep better on a bus than when
I
they're home.
used
You have to
to
sleep
when I
more
was
hours to
when I-
get the equivalent amount of rest.
Really?
when I was younger, I could do 10 or 12.
It's like dog years.
Now,
It is. It's like an hour of sleep on the bus is really about 15 minutes. It's deep sleep, but it's not restful sleep,
I didn't realize that.
I think. Yeah.
Okay,
And
all
it could
right.
be that that's what happens as you start getting a little older.
Well, I had some friends that said, when I'm on the bus, it's the rocking motion that
Yeah.
helps,
Very
but then
soothing.
also the sound, the road sound.
Yeah.
It's almost like a, sound machine that's built in that you're hearing as you're going.
yeah,
Depends on the driver, too.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That is true.
yeah.
You're going to be flying, though. You're not going to be really
gonna
on
be
a bus.
flying.
Well, when we're in the States, we bus it. But in Europe, of course, we don't.
How does that look? What is it like touring in Europe?
For us, it's grand because the fans there have been with the band since the inception.
Yeah.
And it's kind of special because it's not like we don't go every year. We probably should, but we don't. So it's always super special for us and for them as well. It's like, hey, I haven't seen you in so long. Literally,
Yeah.
So it makes it really, for me and for I believe the rest of the band, very sweet to go abroad.
What was
Anywhere.
What was it like having Michael back in the dynamic?
It just, I think to myself every night, that guy sounds just like Michael McDonald. Where do they get this guy?
Wow, he's great.
Now, I haven't watched it, but have you watched the documentary, the Yacht Rock
I
documentary?
have not yet.
I heard that it's just phenomenal.
I've heard that it's
have you
great, too.
seen
I
it?
haven't seen it yet.
That's on my list of things, but they said like they really center on Steely Dan, but then they were like, and the voice of Michael McDonald is really the foundation for Yacht Rock.
Well, the thing about him is he's such a sweet human being, but he has a real humility about him and a sense of humor that's probably exceeds anything anyone else has put. The yacht rock term, I think a lot
Sure.
of people were insulted by, especially Donald Fagen. But anyways, Mike is just, he thinks it's great.
I love it. I mean, honestly, if I'm not listening to country, it's probably Yacht
Oh,
Rock.
yeah.
He knows. He knows.
Well, the crazy thing is, with all of your world travels, you guys end up in Franklin, Tennessee on almost the same day. The Doobie Brothers are there on September 12th. James Taylor is there on September 15th. You're
You are
within
the
3
first
days
person
of
who's
each
looked
other.
at both of our
Yeah.
schedules, us included, to
Yeah.
know. I'm coming to see you. No, I can't.
I'm coming to see you.
Maybe
the
you should do
second
a
time I'm missing you
Herculean
there.
date in the middle if
There
you
you
guys
go.
are
There
you
still
go.
going to be
I'm
around.
going to
Yeah.
talk to James and say I need to be off on the 12th?
13th was it?
13th?
13th and
12th for the
15th.
Doobies and 15th for
I need that
for
night
James
off
That's
Taylor.
just
so I
crazy.
can come see mine.
It's amazing.
You know, I went on one and only date with a girl who wanted to leave before Sweet Baby James in the encore, and I thought, well,
You
this is a
didn't
huge character flaw.
You
Yeah,
did
you
not
can't.
We
stick
can't
with it,
continue
did
with
you?
this.
You
No,
didn't.
no.
That was a red flag
Oh
right
yeah.
there.
If Uber had existed at the time, I just would have said,
Out
"Go,
there.
I'm staying." But there was not that big
Been nice. See
capability.
you later.
Well, we're going to play one more today before y'all take off. The Herculeans, the album is out. Rolling down the hill. Give us all the info on this one.
Well,
The
this
info,
is the song that was first written and recorded by the Rembrandts. And John said,
Danny
you know,
Wilde and Phil Solemn. Phil lives in Nashville, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
And as we
And
were
they're
kind of
most
looking
people,
through-
excuse
Well,
me.
the Friends theme was what
Most
instantly
people
comes
would
to
know.
mind.
Most people would know the Rembrandts because they wrote the theme song for Friends.
Right.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, anyways, but they also had an amazing career as singer-songwriters, and their records are phenomenal. And so I was just a fan, and I thought I always loved that song, this song "Rolling Down the Hill," and I brought it to the band, and Andrea and I decided to do it as a duet, and we kind of took an acoustic turn on it, and you'll hear it. I love it. It's one of
I
my
love it
favorite
too.
things we did.
one of
Well,
our fun things to sing together.
we're going to play it. Congratulations on the album being
Thank
out. We
you
were
so
waiting
much.
for it. The Herculeans. Again, the listening party is going to be happening tonight. 3rd and Lindsley. Go to the back. Y'all
Totally
are gonna
free.
Be there. Totally free. Food, drinks. You can open a tab, put it John Cowan's name. He'll pay for everything.
And then April 16th at the Grand Ole Opry,
Yes, that's right.
not totally free. You guys will be
Totally
there.
paying for that one.
Shenandoah on that night, and we're going to laugh a lot with Gary Mule Deer on the show
Oh,
that
my
same
God.
night as
That'll be
well.
so much fun.
yeah.
That'll be great.
I love
Guys,
Gary.
thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
for
for getting
having
up
us.
early. We
Great
love
to see
seeing you.
It's
All right.
our pleasure as usual.
We are leaving you with Rolling Down the Hill. You're hearing it from the Herculeans this morning.